everybody. Welcome to Mosaic Noon Talks. Today, I'm very, very happy to be with two wonderful Canadian artists. As you know, we will be talking to Josh Band. Their association with Josh, my association with them is long and lasting and a beautiful relationship. They call me Appa, which means elder sister, and I'm always honored to hear that. This talk is a continuation of our celebration of 15th anniversary of Mosaic Festival. TD is our presenting partner. Thank you very much to all our sponsors, all our and all the funding organizations. You will see all their names after. Uh, then, so now we go ahead and talk to these guys together. Hi, Roop. Hi, Khurram. Thank you very much for joining us. Uh, yeah. Okay. In 2006 in Pakistan, I was at a wedding, and at that wedding, every guy wanted to dance on this one song, Josh Nal Pao Bangla. I had never heard this song before. I didn't know who was Josh, no idea. And then I come back to Toronto and I saw this amazing band performing at Masala Mendi Masti. And I'm like, who are these guys? And that was my first time I saw you guys live, and you guys were so amazing. And that's how I got to know about you guys.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I do have a question. Why did only the guys want to dance to Josh Nal Pao Pangla in Pakistan?
She should be asking you that question.
I think it was an epic guy song, a very guy song. You know, there are not many guy songs. So this
True.
one
Okay, that's true. Okay, we'll take that. That's all
Alpha,
right.
thank you for that lovely introduction. It's really nice to be here. Every time we get to go on live, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, it's always a pleasure because otherwise it gives us an excuse to sort of go away from the kids for about an hour. And
Well, not too far away though, because I believe that I'm gonna assume that this is not your room where you are in right
wait,
now.
what gives it away? What gives it away? What are you even talking about? Huh? I can't like pink. I can't like butterflies.
That is true. That's my bad. That's my bad.
That's everywhere we've performed, Q. That's what.
Yeah. I mean, you are inclusive, and I'm sorry that I was questioning that.
The age of assumptions and up. Okay. I shouldn't be doing those, but yeah, all the way from my daughter's room. It's really nice to be here, Appa. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
not at all. You guys, I was looking at this really nice interview you guys did at ATN, and that girl is so amazing. She's a very good interviewer. And so you were band, you became a band in '96, and Q joined in '98 in Montreal, of all places.
And it was downhill ever since, I tell you.
Appa, listen, I'll tell you this. You may have wanted to do this solo because this is what's going to keep happening. It's just going to be Roop and I jamming each other.
96 and 97, boy, those were the years.
My joining was so just even moving to Montreal and then finding South Asians that you become friends with and become best friends with. And then these South Asians, which there's not a lot of in Montreal, especially at that time, are into music. They're playing music, good or bad, that's debatable. But the fact that all of that happened and then I move across the street from the one small South Asian guy who still had that interest in doing music, it was all like, this was not our doing. You know, there was big higher powers, I feel, that kind of brought our paths together. So we're always grateful for that.
Oh, wonderful. And I know, Rupi, your mom is a wonderful artist and my very dear friend. So I know that there is this artistic trait that was running there. And also your family's connection with Kenya, and Khurram, you were from Qatar.
Born in Oman, actually, in Muscat.
Oman. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then lived in Pakistan and then back, yeah.
Did you guys have any artistic, I mean, group? I know. What about you? Any artistic leaning? Any
No, you know what?
musicians in the family?
No, to be honest, Apa, the most I know is that my mom used to sing at like Thodi Ghar Pe Koi Mehfil Hoti Thi, us type ki, like, so she would sing. She had a really nice voice and stuff like that, but there's nobody connected to entertainment as such in any way. So all of this was, I mean, there's some history of it in the family because I was able to kind of understand music a little bit and have some natural inclination towards it, but nothing official. So that's why it also I think that's why we had to take more of our dhakkes, more than our fair share of dhakkes before we could get anywhere because we came from zero connections, you know.
So, what was the first song that you guys did together? Few lines of that song that you guys did first.
Group, take that.
We basically used to do a lot of cover songs up. We were singing Bollywood songs, we were singing Pakistani songs, and I think we're probably the only band at that point that was doing both Indian and Pakistani songs in one set. And so it was always something different. We always had something different to give. But it was one time when Khurram came over, he just literally ran across the street and said, "Dude, I actually made a song. It's my own song. This is like, you got to hear this." So I was like, "What? Like, it's not a copy of anything?" and he said, "No." I was like, "The words too?" He's like, "Yeah, the words too." So here we were, and he played this song, and it was called "Main Hoon Tanha." And then together we ended up finishing the song, giving it a bridge and adding some more stuff, and then taking that idea and just sort of bringing it all together. And that's the song we actually ended up going to Bombay and pitching that song to record companies for years, many years. We got rejected over and over, but it was that one song that sort of drove us to make more and more and more, and then we never ended after that. Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit of it.
Sure. I can do that.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
So the whole Papa's gonna be upstairs busy didn't really work very.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. It's the era, COVID era. Everything goes.
जैसे होती हैं सूरज की रातें कुर्बान है ये जिंदगी तू मेरे रूह की खुशबू तू आसमां की इंतहा हमें तो ये बातें सब झूठी लगी मैं मुस्कुराने लगा मैं पास आने लगा तू मुस्कुराने लगी क्यों दूर जाने लगी मैं मुस्कुराने लगा मैं पास आने लगा मैं हूँ तन्हा मैं हूँ तन्हा That one was that's called "Main Hoon Tanha." Thank you.
It's important to note here, Appa, that we won't be singing together for many reasons, but one of them is because it's not fully synced. So if I were to sing along with him or if he sings along with me, it's going to be off. So
yeah, we're trying to solve that technical glitch for our own purposes and for the world's purposes for a long time, as are a lot of other people. But we'll do that session hopefully with you properly another time.
Absolutely. The idea basically is that there are few songs which are memorable, which everybody knew that Josh sang. That Noor Jahan song, you've been telling the stories about that song so many times, and
right.
it's always a very interesting, take on it. That song not only brings back the beautiful memory of that, but it's also sung by male singers. It reminds me of Sajjad Ali doing, Bamri Chakori long time ago,
right.
and it was a different take on males singing the songs which actually are a female song.
So, you know what, Appa, I think that one of the things that we have recently realized and revisited, because this 2020 is also kind of like our 20th anniversary of Josh, even though it was made a few years before 2000, but It's just that 2000 is the year where we were able to go full time into it and get like our main breaks and stuff. So as we were revisiting some of the songs, and because we were gonna put out a sort of like an anniversary special album of some sort and revisit some of the things, and we realized that the songs that are the most memorable is the one that you're mentioning. They all have that like kind of reckless story attached to it, that we didn't overthink it. It was an idea. Like if you mention I Mausam, the Noor Jahan song that you were mentioning, Roop was over my basement, and I had brought some 50-50 DVDs because I wanted him to watch 50-50, because I thought that show, that Pakistani satire show, was so funny and so witty, so ahead of its time. And I would always talk about it. So he started watching that, and in between episodes, there was a musical performance. This was just for the DVD. This never happened in the actual shows. And one of the songs just happened to be Zubaida Khanam singing I Mausam. And Roop was like, this is a really beautiful song. Could we do it? And my first response was, well, it's a female song. Like, how can we? But then he's like, well, but maybe we can. We can make it we can change a few things. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe. And we just kind of tried it, and it fell in a really good place, to the point that our album was all done. We had chosen all the songs we were going to put in the album. We had chosen the title track, and this was something that came after all of that. But when it got made, the album's name was Mausam. So it just became the title track because it was just made with that kind of like reckless love and inspiration. So I think that's kind of where all the good ideas we've realized land from, like, bravery and recklessness. Just try it and see what comes. So
absolutely. By the way, there is another anniversary which we are celebrating with you guys. George performed 10 years ago at Mosaic for the first time.
Well, we look the same.
So congratulations, Arshad. Mahmood sends you greetings for the 10th anniversary with Mosaic Festival.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Then we had you guys again in 2013.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So how was the festival experience? How did you guys prepare for when you realized that now you guys are festival ready? And of course at Masala Mehndi Masti I saw you, and then Mosaic, and then
before I answer that question, I do want to say one thing, that I can't believe it's the 15th year for you guys. That is, amazing. I know that I have personally been, always involved in the project, because even when we're not performing, there's always some sort of suggestions here and there, and you guys have always been working so hard. So to you and Arshad and to the entire team, I want to congratulate you guys, because it's a really big feat. It's a really, really big feat, and not only is it big feat, but you've stayed afloat amongst all the other festivals that trickle in every year. I think now there's about 150 in Toronto only, and you find a way to stay at the top. So good for you guys, man.
Thank you. It's because of people like you who have been dedicated and who really understand the vision and keep supporting us. I know how many times I have cried in front of you guys asking for what should we do next. The funding didn't come through. Where are we going to go next? And you guys have been very supportive. I'm really appreciative of that. By the way, we couldn't do this without our wonderful board of directors and the sponsors and the supporters that we have. So coming to that, that your biggest supporters have always loved your I'm awesome. So who's going to sing a few lines of that?
I'll start with the line, and then Khurram can, when I slow down cue, then you can just take it over with the guitar. How's that?
All right. I'm awesome.
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. जब बहती नदियाँ शोर करे, मेरा दिल मिलने को जोर करे, मेरा दिल मिलने को जोर करे.
याद आए खुशी के ज़माने, हो याद आए खुशी के ज़माने, जिया नहीं माने तू छुट्टी लेके आजा साजना हो साजना आए मौसम रंगीले सुहाने जिया नहीं माने तू छुट्टी लेके आजा साजना हो साजना ओ आए मौसम 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 आए मौसम
See, Alpha,
thank you.
This has been a really big problem in our history. You say, "Acha, you sing one line, I'll sing the other." ये कभी होता नहीं. I'm just sitting here, man. अभी बारी आएगी मेरी.
I saw your director flashing lights on this call, saying, "Hey, come on! It's only an hour show."
Stage पे आप, this is my time. This is my time now. Okay. खाना गा लिया आपने खुरम भाई, अब मेरी बात. Stage पे mic उसका louder होता है. लाइनें.
That's because they want to hear me more. That has nothing to do with anything. It's the sound guy who's putting your volume level down because he's saying, "Isko kisne chada diya stage pe."
Oh my God! But listen, both of you can do whatever but your friendship and your relationship has been so solid over the years. We see so many bands which come up with a lot of energy and power and then just disintegrate. I see there is this amazing sense of not only working together, but also a comfort zones that you guys have individual areas where you guys have perfected yourselves. And that I think is also very important because I feel that as an artist, you need to diversify yourself.
I think that's a very good point, but I'm going to add something to that. I think that initially when we started making music together, we knew our roles much better. Where I was going to be taking more, of the music work, and Roop is going to manage more of the business side of things and stuff. And obviously, when we come together to finish a song and we come together to make a decision together, a business decision, and I think that we never tried to overstep too much on each other's areas, and that's really helpful. I think that it's been a long time that we've been friends in a band together and stuff like that. So we have our discourses, we have our arguments, and we take time apart from each other. But one thing that we've realized is that what we've built as Josh, as the entity, it's bigger than us individually. So we try our stuff individually. Roop's tried different things, I've tried different things, but when it comes together to being Josh and performing together, there is definitely this sync that we have managed to maintain, and it's so natural. I'm very happy about that. We just that never goes anywhere. So that's always a good thing for us.
Fabulous. Okay, there is one burning question I've always wanted to know: how was performing with Nelly Furtado?
Oh my God. That was nerve-wracking. that was scary. And you got to remember, the first time we performed with her, we were on stage at Andheri Stadium. I think there was close to 70,000 people in that stadium, cricket stadium in Bombay. And we were the closing act for a New Year's gig that also featured Priyanka Chopra, that had A.R. Rahman, and then it was Nelly Furtado and Josh. So we've been fortunate to play on stage with her not quite a few times, 3 times, but every time has been, for me at least, nerve-wracking, because she's such a powerhouse, and she knows exactly where she's going at every second, and it comes from years and years and hours of rehearsal, something that we don't really do. And so when we were on stage, I remember just sort of like understanding her command with her band and just being so focused. So we learned a lot. There's no doubt.
And I want to add to that. Look, at that time, we were mostly going on, Roop and I, as the singers, and then we would have our music playing in the background and we would sing on it. We didn't have a full live band at the time. There would be sometimes we would go for a special event and we'd prepare like that. But I want to connect that to when you asked how do we prepare for festivals. that was one of the shifts we really wanted to do, because a festival environment is ideally a live band environment where you interact with your musicians and the people that are playing, your backing musicians and stuff like that. So that switch was a big deal for me, because I wanted to make sure. My thing always was, because some of our songs are punchier and they have bigger beats, and I was like, how can we recreate that live, without a really big and expensive backing band, and still get hired and make it feasible for the people that are going to be hiring us. So we were able to bring together some really, really good musicians, and then once we went on with a live band, I mean, we've never looked back ever since, and it's so much more fun.
Excellent. Samina Talat is a great fan and enjoying this talk. And Ajay Gupta, some live stream. I have to read these messages too, because these are amazing messages. They're all full of praise. Ask me questions, honey. And so when we talk about Roop Magoon, immediately a beautiful sight of lovely food comes in front.
Yes.
As a foodie, you have made your name as a chef as well. I see these beautiful recipes that you're doing. You made this easy recipes for desi guys. Now, what's with this food addiction that you have, and how far is it going?
Yeah, I know that you and I have spoken about this quite a few times. My love for food has always been there. It started a long time ago when my mom wasn't well and I had to cook for her. And I'll never forget making the dal that day. And my mamu, my late mamu, came into the house, and he said, my mom's nickname is Rani, as you all know. And he said, Rani, aaj dal bahut swad bani hai. And I remember thinking that, I made that dal, and that feeling of praise was the first little taste I got of how wonderful it is to feed people. And I just love the whole idea of it. I like seeing smiles, and I like taking my time and putting the time and energy and love into the food. I also think it makes a really big difference at home, especially with your children. It's not only an activity that you can do with them, but it's, they also see that, okay, Papa cooks, and that's just like a sort of a norm that's how it should be for everyone. But then recently, of course, during lockdown, I was posting videos. Before it was just photos. I was posting videos, and then the wonderful team, especially Mia Shahzad Bhai from Kashmir Banaspati, reached out and said, let's do a campaign. And so I kind of had to sharpen some of my skills in terms of video and edit. And Q knows better than anyone. I'm not a techie, and so I had to really learn how to do that, and eventually started pumping out these really cool videos. And some of them have gone viral, some of them are not so much. But like we've done 12 recipes now, 8 left, and there's already talks of doing another campaign. So we're very, very excited about that.
It is such a great, it's done so well. It's simple, it's easy, it's exactly what a recipe program should be like. And I was looking at those videos, and I was saying, oh my God, this is done so well. The food looks so beautiful. When I take a picture of my food, it looks awful. I mean, it doesn't have anything like, and then I discussed with you, and you said that, you put light there, and it's all recorded by you. So please, to the audience, check out those recipes. It's done so well. Rupi, that's So what about you, Q? Are you into cooking as well?
I'm into eating. Okay. I am the person which creates the roop, and that is very necessary. Okay. No, I mean, I'm not I can cook, but I don't care about it as much as Roop does. I think that's it's great. That I think it's all about taking what you're passionate about and following that. So that's a lesson for everybody, kind of thing. Like never discount any interest you have.
Yeah. I have one more question that I was thinking of doing it before this question, and that was, have you guys taken singing classes with non-South Asian coaches?
Question is, have we taken singing classes with South Asian coaches? And the answer to that is, for me, no. I mean, I have never taken classes as such. I think it would be a great thing for somebody who is a South Asian uh, singer to take classes from somebody who is a non-South Asian. It gives you a lot of ideas. My personal experience on that front was when we worked with non-South Asian singers, and sometimes we needed some backup vocals recorded, some harmonies recorded, and stuff. And the way we would naturally do some ad libs and some and play with the melody and stuff like that, which is very South Asian style, just like a little bit more raggy and stuff like that. But there is a lot of similarities in R&B when they do the ad libs and they do the the harkats and stuff that we as we South Asians call harkats. And it's so interesting to see that when an R&B trained singer was doing ad libs on something that we created, which was a Desi South Asian song, they fit beautifully. So if there is that dimension that you can bring in, I think it works really, really well, and everybody should kind of broaden their horizons. Is what I would suggest to everybody.
Absolutely. You have Rupi. You have a fan, Sahil Khan, and he says, "Rupaji, you have to invite us over once this madness is over." And I've always had fun playing with the Josh band. It's unfortunate that the backing bands have very little to no budget, and that's the sad part. This applies to all the live band shows, unfortunately, but that aside, the energy is unmatchable on the stage. Unmatchable.
Thank you, Tarbhai. That's very sweet of you. But, that's a very serious comment. There are a lot of musicians, a lot of artists that are out of work right now. So a big, obviously applauds to you for this campaign that you're doing. And working with musicians like myself and Khurram, also to the NAC that we had done, we had done a performance with them. It's really important to understand that there's all these musicians that are out of work. And to those musicians, I'd like to say that at this time, we have to get together, we have to come together, and we have to find ways to sustain ourselves. I mean, hopefully this is going to be over soon, and hopefully we'll get back to performing. But should this happen again, I think we have to find ways. That's the only way. That's what humanity does. We find ways to survive. And so if that means we have to pivot, if that means we have to look in a different way, if that means we have to cook a video, film a video for food, we have to do things to keep busy and to find ways, and then share these raste that we're finding that help either put food on the table for our families, or just sort of understand that, okay, we're now living in a virtual digital world, and how are we going to make money doing that? So it's really important that musicians sort of band together here.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. That's absolutely what we need our musicians and our artists to hear, so that the sustenance in these days and times is extremely important. And that is the idea why we started this, because we know that artists are falling on hard times right now. The gigs are not there. So hopefully we will be working with two of you and trying something really exciting coming up. But talking of excitement, Rupi, you have bloomed as an actor as well. How is that acting part coming along?
I've always loved it. Josh has now done over 25 music videos. So that gives us gives us not only screen time, but it gives us time in front of the camera. You understand how a director takes shots. You understand, a few things here and there. But then speaking dialogue on camera is very different. It's one thing mimicking your song in a music video, and you've got a wonderful model, and you've got Q playing guitar, and we've got a band in the back. Acha, that's beautiful scenery. Ye sab theek ho gaya. Lekin when you have to deliver the dialogue and you have to be a different character, that's where things get challenging. And so I did a couple of online courses. I went and did a couple of improv classes. That was a lot of fun. And even, again, masterclass.com classes here and there. They're helpful, but you really have to do them over and over and over. But I'm most excited to announce that, I'm coming on a TV show called Decoys on July 17th on CBC. And that was filmed in November. It's a television series. It's a comedy, a mockumentary. It's very, very funny. Written by David Pellick and a whole bunch of other guys, and the cast is awesome. I can't wait to share it with the world.
Excellent. Thank you so much for dropping this news here.
Yes,
and dropping of news, we know that you guys are working on a new song, and it's really exciting So, what do you want to talk? We want to know about that song.
So I'll introduce the song cue, and then if you're okay with it, you can play a couple of lines of it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is a track that's actually been with us for a few years now, and it's always been one of my favorites. But we just never, we find ourselves stuck between, the old time how to release an album, CD banate the, cassette banate the. In fact, Q's in the studio. He might be able to show you a cassette.
I do. I have something here.
You have a cassette, CD, cassette, and of course the digital world, the kids know this so much better than we do, and we're just learning. Can we release kaise karte hain? Okay, you have to go to Spotify, then you got to go to Thisify, and you got to go to Thatify, and then all these kinds of different avenues that perhaps we weren't so great at managing. But we're finally getting our stuff together. We have new music, but Tujh Mein, the video was shot. We had the guys from Magic Feet, Parth, who has his own dance company. You guys have had these guys at Mosaic almost every year.
Absolutely, every single year. They are our closing act, Shamak Dance.
Yes, so he choreographed the full dance with our wonderful dancer Samira, who's basically taken over the video. I think it's her video, and Q and I just happen to make appearances here and there.
And I think that, look, I mean, we had grander plans for, like, we had some shoots and stuff. This is, again, a story of a little bit of what happened when the pandemic kind of hit, where we weren't able to shoot some stuff that we had planned, So we had to find ways to get it done because we didn't have a choice. So this is to kind of add to Roop's point, is that things need to move forward, and we had to go back and pull out some stuff and stitch it together in the most intelligent fashion that we could. But the song is, like Roop mentioned, it's called Tujh Mein, and it speaks about obsession. And it's basically like there's so many different obsessions in this world that anybody can have, whether it's love or whether it's the arts or whether it's performance and stuff like that. So even though the lyrics essentially are just about being obsessed with the thing that you love and how you're just immersed in it, that's the way the song was written, and it's like something like this. Okay. Is jaam mein hai kami, ho gaya hai ye pagal tere nashe mein khudi. अब शामें घुलने लगी तुझ में, सुबह का है अब सुरूर तुझ में, अब रातें घुलने लगी तुझ में, सुबह का है अब
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving it to us. That's really nice. And when are you releasing it? When is it coming out?
We're hoping in a couple of weeks. We're just putting the final touches on some of the promotional materials and stuff like that, and doing the final tweaks on the video, and then we're just waiting for for everything to be ready before we push it out. So.
Asma is saying love your music and hearts. Pranay Ranjan, can't wait to see it. Anya McKenzie, please share about your film and new project. We just did that. And Sahil Khan, thank you so much. So now I've heard that I haven't seen the movie, sorry, but Hugh, I've heard that you did a film in Pakistan called Rangreza. So how did that come about?
So you know what? I mean, I did. When you say film, I did a couple of songs in it, and I think that the film itself didn't do well. I think it was met with a lot of issues and stuff by the time it was being released. So I don't think the film really made an impact. It started with a lot of good energy and stuff. It was a very good experience for me to to try again doing something that was different. Film music creation is very like, it's very specific to the scene. And then like they wanted one like Sufi-ish Qawwali type modern song. Then they wanted a like a female song. I think that people seem to like the music more, which I'm happy about in the sense that it was met with praise and stuff. It was a lot of learning from me in a good way, in the sense that because of that experience, Stealing Vows, which is Bobby Singh Brown, somebody you know for a long time from Canada. Him and Ali Hassan, they are shooting a film, and they involved me in that project to do all the music. So that's like 14 songs, the whole soundtrack and stuff like that. So it's going back to the same thing. Like I took a chance on something. Rangreza was a great learning experience for me, and then it has ended up with this behemoth of a project, which is almost done, and they're also waiting for things to settle so they can just shoot the last bit of it, and then it's ready for release. So we've been working on scoring throughout the time that we've been in the studio and in this pandemic and stuff. So kind of catching up and making use of this time that you can't do anything else in. But this is, to me, as a producer and as a music producer, which is where my interests lie, this to me is the new challenges of growth. And so I'm very happy to be able to try my hand on that.
Lovely. That's great to know. Roop, I have to tell you one thing, that the film that you did, the Maharaja Dalip Singh film,
yes,
I find that your acting, the Black Prince, your acting was far more superior than anybody else in that film. So congratulations. That was a fantastic work done.
Well, there may be a little bit of bias there, Appa. There might be a little.
No. Honestly, anybody I talked to, it was Roop Magoo who did the fabulous job.
Oh, thank you. It was a tough role for me to do. We shot it in England, and I had to do a British accent for it, which is sad because the Netflix version right now is only dubbed in Hindi and Punjabi, which really sucks. The English version is the one that should be out, and it's out on different platforms. But that's all, I guess, contract negotiation issues. But thank you for that compliment. It's very sweet of you.
Okay, I heard this. I heard this song, and I was really like, okay, this is a song. Chaddi wala yaar. What was that about?
Yaar dil dar asi chaddi wale yaar.
Well, you know what, Appa? Listen, you talk about us becoming really artistic and really, meditating and thinking about what's the next big line that will come out. And then we went into deep meditation, and then when we woke up, we were like, Chaddi wale yaar. That's it.
Underwear friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Urdu language, it's hard to write songs in Urdu language. It's not easy. I think Punjabi, it's easier to write in Punjabi nowadays. I listen to these amazing Punjabi songs which Agha Sahab plays in the car all the time. They're really hilarious. Yeah. And they're so now songs, songs, like it has the nerve of today playing around, and the wordings are unbelievable wording.
Yeah, I think there's some really good writers right now in the Punjabi language. But just to get to answer Chaddi wale yaar, that's not something we wrote. The Meet Brothers, who are a very, very big duo in Bollywood, they wrote that song, and it was to accompany the film Speedy Sings or Breakaway when we did that movie here. So we had shot a video for it, and that's how Chaddi wale yaar came about. But yeah, you're talking about these Punjabi songs that are really cool. They're like, English and Punjabi mixed. And, so a writer by the name of Kumar is somebody who we've worked with a lot and now is at the top of Bollywood. He's written all the big hits from Shakira to, I can't even tell you another one, but Mahi Be Ishq from Sukhbir. And those are the kinds of guys that have all these really quirky and cool and funny lines that make everybody laugh and dance.
Fabulous. So you guys, in the honor of your great friendship, Arshad Khan is going crazy about Chaddi wala yaar. What a name. What a fantastic idea. And one question before I go to the rapid fire round is your festival experience. How was your experience performing at Mosaic? Arshad Mahmood is very keen to hear about that.
Well, Mosaic always brings the best out of us, and I'll tell you why. You guys always give us excellent time slots, so thank you for that. But it's the energy about this festival that brings people of all South Asian, facets together. And it's not only South Asians, but it's predominantly South Asians. The artists are South Asian, and so here's one festival where you have Indians, Pakistanis, Bengalis. You've got Sri Lankans. You've got people from all over South Asia that come in together, dance together, sing together, rain, sunshine, anything, whatever it is, that celebration square is packed to the back. Good food, good music is something that unfortunately we're not going to get this year. And it really, really bums me out. It bums me to the core that not only are we going to not have these, but that people are thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to stand next to somebody in a crowd? Just watching something from last summer and you're like, yesterday I was watching a show and it was a comedian that got off stage and did a high five with somebody in the front row and then shook hands. And I tell you, I was like, whoa, look at that. It's even gotten to me. And I was like, gosh, we got to get back to hugging and touching and high-fiving and handshaking, because that's who we are as humans. And so I can't wait to get back to the festivals, man.
Yeah. Can you imagine Comic-Con? I mean, people go to Comic-Con just to touch the actors. Oh my God.
Well, I think that Appa, the next one you have to consider a drive-in Mosaic concert event.
I know. No, it's very hard. It's really hard. It's hard on audience. It's hard, of course, hard on artists. But it's also hard on organizers because for us, it's a very frustrating feeling, and we are lined up with so much responsibility, and that is the reason why this year we had to follow the city's guidelines and moved on that side. But before anything, I'll let you guys go. We have to have these answers. So this question came from Neela. Who is a better flyer? Considering you guys fly so much, you guys are out of this country most of the time. So who takes it better? Who is the one who doesn't get the fatigue?
I think I'm the better flyer. I can sleep on the plane, no problem. I think that when Roop gets on the plane, there's different configurations he needs to have to make sure he's comfortable. Otherwise, yahan pe dard, and this is aching, that is aching, and he's very delicate. Yeah. That's can you deny that?
Now let me give you the real story behind this.
Yeah.
In fact, it's my chacha, Kaka Megon, Harminder Megon, the chef. He went to India with us once, and in his words, he said, I can never sit next to you again. And I was like, yeah. What did he do? Was he talking too much? Was he, was there an odor? What was it? Chacha? Tell me what it was. And he said, this guy from, I think it was Toronto to London. Frankfurt. Toronto to Frankfurt. He said he must have moved in his seat because he was sitting next to him at least about 150 times.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. I'm sorry. That's absolutely true. I moved, but I was peaceful. I didn't realize I may be a pain for other people, but I am a good flyer. I'm very happy with myself.
Flying means
all right.
People.
So that means there is no jet lag for you guys after it. You can get off the plane and perform.
There is always jet lag. There is no cure. There is no cure for jet lag. There is one cure which I cannot mention on air.
Well, it's jet lag is the state you stay in when you do a long journey and you spend 10 days on the other part of the world and come back. Because if you can't fight it, you just got to be friends with it.
So who spends more on clothes?
I
mean, it's like I'm asking questions from a couple.
I'm sure I do. I don't think Roop spends on clothes. Yeah.
एक t-shirt मैंने पहनी है पिछले साल.
Good one. Okay, who writes the lyrics? Who does the music? Do you guys have any definite the areas of creating music?
Yeah, so generally Q does the compositions and has the idea for the lyrics. If he hasn't written all the lyrics, then I'll give ideas on what I feel that the music that he created, what kind of mood it brought to me, what kind of sentiment or subject I think it should have. If I can help with some lyrics, then fine. But sometimes we also get writers to write our stuff.
All right. From Alia, who has more tolerance for chili?
Ooh, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll have to test that, Roop. Dekhte hain. Yeah.
Chalo.
Oh, I've seen what Ali Hassan has. That guy really can eat chilies.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first time Roop brought him to my house, he brought me a chutney with chilies in it, and it was unbelievable. Good, but a killer.
Yes.
All right. One singer you guys dream to collaborate with? That's my question.
That's so many. Like, because they keep changing, because there's new artists that keep coming up that are doing some amazing stuff. And I'll explain to you my personal thought process.
Some Canadian. I'm talking about a Canadian artist you would like to collaborate with.
Well, I mean, there is there's a flamenco guitarist by the name of Jesse Cook, who's incredible, an incredible musician. Have been listening to him for a long time, and we would love to actually make something substantial with him. I think he would be a great accent on the style of music that we create in certain spaces.
What about the Bieber posters that Inayat took from your room and put it in her room?
Yeah, well, Bieber hasn't been returning my calls, so I don't know. I mean, I thought that I would call and they would be like, "Yes, finally, you called," but that hasn't happened.
I think a Josh and Arcade Fire collaboration would probably be one of the coolest tracks ever, and I think it would get a lot of attention. Really awesome Montreal band. Been following them since they were small, and went to watch them at the ACC or Scotiabank Center, and what a vibe, man.
You remember Flipcam? So Bushra, when she was doing Rock the Coliseum, Flipcam contacted her, and they sent her to Amsterdam to do the Flipcam shoot of Arcade Fire.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Can you just send the WhatsApp number over? I have some work to do.
All right. So Montreal or Toronto?
Montreal.
Oh.
Montreal.
Both.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Lahore or Karachi?
Karachi.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਹੌਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਛਿੱਤਰ ਪੈਣੇ
Delhi, Bombay.
Bombay.
Right.
Bombay.
But Bombay, yeah. Bombay is an awesome city, man.
Bombay is amazing.
All right. So Sahib Rana has a question. He says, who is the better cook? Roop or Puram?
Yeah.
I think we answered that. I think Roop knows how to cook better. I know how to eat better. So I think that we both complement the dinner table in that sense.
But nobody makes a shawarma like Sahib. So hey, let's talk honesty here, huh?
Exactly. Guys, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us. Any parting shots, anything you guys want to add to this discussion we just had?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Everybody stay positive. And our song Tujh Mein will be coming to the airwaves very, very soon, to the digital airwaves very, very soon. We're very excited to hear your feedback. And Q, it was nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah. Asma, please give our love to Arshad Tupaji, and hope to see you guys soon.
And Appa, I just want to add that the Mosaic thing is something that has been such an institution. I mean, as Roop mentioned, you guys were the first, and I really hope you guys find a way to keep bringing it back in your own way. I know that you've started some thoughts on that to kind of breathe life into it. And me as a performer and as a fan of the energy you guys bring together, please stay on top of that and let's figure this out together.
Thank you so much. At this interview, we will make this announcement that we will be doing a special series with Josh in it, and you will all be able to enjoy it. It's a project that we are right now working on, and all the best to all of us. And I will see our audience on Thursday. Thank you very much, Roop and Huram, and all the best for your new projects.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Hafiz.
Thank
Bye bye.
Ciao.